Welcome to the dais, the Virginia Tech student-athletes, Clara Strack and Georgia Amore, and head coach Kenny Brooks. And we will open it up to Coach Brooks for an opening statement.
Congratulations to Baylor. Played a little bit better than we did tonight. And that's what this thing is all about, to survive and advance. But super proud of my kids. He wasn't supposed to end like this. You know, Liz Kitley's supposed to be on the floor for us, helping fight to help us advance to the next round. And our kids could have very well hung their heads in all the dismay at the time when it happened, but they didn't. They kept their focus. They locked in. They reinvented themselves. They had to reinvent themselves again. And you know, we didn't lose because of lack of effort tonight. We didn't always play great. We had some spells and some things happened and didn't go our way, but very proud of them and their effort. You know, to my seniors, you know, they left a legacy here at Virginia Tech, and we're forever grateful, and we love them to death. So this one stings because we felt like, you know, we could have advanced, but things just didn't happen our way.
We'll open up to questions for the student-athletes. We'll start with Mark and then Tim.
Hey, George, a tough one there. I'm sure the Tech fans, as great as the regular season was, will kind of look back at this postseason. It was a big what if, you know, what if Liz had not gotten hurt? Is that how you kind of going to think about this postseason as well?
No, our season isn't defined by the postseason. I mean, to be regular season champions is something that's incredibly difficult to do. I think we played consistent throughout the year, and that's what it is. It's regular season champions, and we were the most consistent team, and we had a bloody good time doing it. Obviously, we got dealt a pretty hard deck of whatever you call it. What's that saying? We got hard done by towards the end of the season, obviously with Liz going out and not having the opportunities or the time to completely reinvent ourselves. Like the teams we play against, they're who they were, developed the whole year, and we just didn't have that time. So it's not like we look at this game and think, well, what a waste of a season, because I'm so proud of these girls and the development we've had and the relationships we've built and the direction the program's going in. I'm super proud of the girls.
Georgia, obviously this was the last game for Kayla King. You've played with her for the past 4 years. How would you define her legacy at Virginia Tech? Yeah,
she's just been so solid. Like, she came in and, you know, she used to cry every bloody practice, and freshman year she was just emotionally a bit unstable. But she's developed and she's grown and she's been solid for us, and you know, she's had some ups, she's had some downs, but you can't take away who she is. She's a regular season champ. She's an ACC tournament champ. She's a Final Four, you know, participant. Her career here has been nothing short of amazing, and I hope that when she looks back, she doesn't look back at this game. She looks at her whole 4 years, because she's the epitome of, you know, trusting the process.
Bradley Winterling, 3304 Sports. Seems like we kind of talk about this after every home game, but I wanted to get your guys' kind of thoughts at the end of the season here, like what Cassell has meant to you, like reflecting on your time playing here.
I would say I think Cassell's just amazing. The fans that we have that show up every game, no matter who we're playing, is just, it's so special to have here and to have them behind us all the time.
Can you kind of speak to your confidence level compared to earlier in this season? You just had your first career double-double tonight, and it just seems like your emergence has been one of the, obviously, the key parts of this team. Just kind of compare what level of confidence you're feeling now in the past couple weeks in this emergence versus what it was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I would say that I definitely gained a lot of confidence throughout the season. That's going to happen as you play no matter what. But I think knowing that I had to gain that level of confidence, knowing I had to play like who I am and be who I am out there, I think that's what really just like pushed me over, like to have that confidence.
Sam Oster, the Collegiate Times. What was the mentality going into the last 20 seconds when you were down and cutting it close?
I mean, it's March. Like, anything can happen. There's still plenty of time, and you know, there's still the ability to hit shots. We've seen it all the time, and I think, yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us were thinking negatively or anything like that, so.
Colby Crawford, VT Scoop. What was the defensive look you guys got on that final inbounds play that kind of caused that chaos on the inbounds?
I can't really remember. Sorry, I was setting up a screen.
Mark, go ahead.
Georgia, let me ask you the same question I asked Liz at the end of the Final Four press conference a year ago. If this is your last game, how will you remember your Virginia Tech career?
Had a time. I came here and I was not good, couldn't shoot, probably a little too overweight, probably too slow, had too much fun, had to get reeled in. But I got here and it was the perfect place for me to settle in and, kind of not control myself, but lock in on basketball is the perfect place to do that. I came here and I trusted Coach Brooks 110%, even when I didn't trust in myself. And it's paid off immensely. I couldn't be more grateful for our time together. And I think, being a foreigner, I come over to America, and, America's fun, but, Blacksburg is the place where I've developed. And it's kind of like my home away from home, and I couldn't be more appreciative of how it's transformed me as not only a basketball player, but as a person, and that's because I've surrounded myself with great people. And I truly think that I came out of high school, I had 4 offers or whatever. I took 2 visits, and one of them just happened to be here, and that's a blessing in disguise. And I didn't know at that time how it would play out, but I took the chance, and I'm very, very grateful that I did, because, I've got him for life now, so I've loved it, and I couldn't be more grateful.
David, then Joey.
David Cunningham, Tech Sideline. Clara, what has it meant to you to play with Georgia, to play with Liz, to play with Kayla? How will you remember your time playing with them, and what are some of your favorite memories of them?
Yeah, I mean, all 3 of them are amazing, obviously basketball players, but they're also amazing people. All 3 of them have taught me, so many things about, honestly, life in general. I don't think that I could have played these past 2 games the way I did without Liz's guidance through the year. She's helped me so much, developed me so much in so many ways. She's always been my biggest supporter and teacher at the same time. So,
Joey with Legacy Maker Sports Network. I can't help but notice Kenny's face as you guys are talking. What has Kenny specifically meant to both of you guys? Because as you guys are talking, he looks like a proud papa. I can't. It's great. So. What has he meant to you guys specifically?
Let's start with Clara.
He's honestly the best coach I could have asked for coming in here. He pushes me every day, no matter what. He knows the potential that I have, and he knows that who I can be. So he's pushing me to get there, and that's what I need. And I would say that he just cares so much about every one of us that he's really just the best coach that I could have came here and gotten.
Yeah, we'd be here for 2 hours if I said everything I had in my mind right now. So just to sum it up, this is my second dad. Seriously, basketball, all of that, but off court, I am fearful that we are the same person. I'm a 23-year-old woman, and I think I act a little too much like him, but that's my dad. That's my second dad. That's my American dad, and we've been through some tough times, and we've been through some great times, and it's a relationship that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And I know that I always have him, and I love him to death.
Clara and Georgia, congratulations on a great season. Thanks for joining us. The Virginia Tech locker room will be open until roughly 11:15. It's 11:15 for the Virginia Tech locker room. We will now open it up to questions for Coach Brooks. We'll start with Mark, and then we'll work our way through.
Kenny, obviously, this is the end of the Liz and Kayla era. I don't know if it's going to be the end of Georgia or not, or heck for you or not. So how will you remember this chapter of Tech basketball?
The most amazing stretch of my coaching career, and not only just because of the championships we won, but those 3, They're incredible people. I couldn't have asked for better people to come in here and transform this program. You can be a great player, but if you don't have the mentality, the work ethic, and the ability to lead people, and when I say lead, I mean they lead our program, but they also help lead this community. The effect that they've had on this community, not only young people, old people, that they've made a lot of people women's basketball fans here at Virginia Tech, and sometimes when you get players of that caliber, sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit. You have to sacrifice maybe integrity. But those kids are the full package. They're great kids. And what they've done for this program, this community, for me, you can't even put it into words, and that's how special they are.
Coach Brooks, can you speak to the growth of the newcomers like Eck and Strack? Back in November, you were just trying to get them ingratiated, and now you're relying on them in big games.
Yeah, Matilda, came in, and she wanted to get to this level, and she wanted to be able to play at this level. And she had to get acclimated to everything that we did, and she did it perfectly. Always, the consummate teammate, just wanted to come out and play hard each and every day. And she had some good games, some bad games, but nonetheless, she's a Hokie, and she came out, and it was great. Clara, that's my baby. She is, you guys don't understand this, you don't know this. She turned 18 about 2 months ago, and we were going to redshirt her. And we thought we were going to bring her in here, and immediately she got here, and we were like, man, she's too good, and she can help us, go to where we need to go. And I am a proud papa, because the very first press conference she had, I think she said 2 words, and I think she mixed them up. And then she comes up here now, and she's watching Liz, and she's watching each and every one of the kids in our program and learning how to represent our program. And she's a star, man. She's going to be a star. And what you saw tonight, it takes a lot for a freshman who has not played a prominent role all year long to come on this stage in front of this crowd with everything at stake to perform like she did. And I was very, very proud of her.
Coach, just some more about Matilda Eck, with her struggling those last 3 games, and then what she was able to do this weekend, 16 points in the second half today. What can you say about what she was able to do in these 2 games?
She has a heart of a lion. She comes out, and she hurt bad when she had those 3 straight games where she didn't score, and she asked me could we meet, and it was so funny because I don't even know what we talked about, but it was just being in the presence, and she knew that I trusted her, and she came out, and she had a different look in her eye, and because she wants to be, she wants to help the team win, and I thought she played exceptionally well this weekend, and very proud of her, very happy for her to be able to experience this.
How important is the culture and kind of the leadership that Liz and Kayla, and whether Georgia returns or not, Georgia have set for the next generation in terms of kind of keeping this standard up in terms of the success that Virginia Tech has had?
It's everything. And like I mentioned before, there are a lot of talented players across the country, but the way that they've gone about their business, and the young players are watching them, and they're emulating what they do. And sometimes you just do the extra. You go the extra mile just because, well, Liz and Georgia and Kayla did it, so I guess we're supposed to do it as well. Liz and Georgia, are All-Americans, and, they work as hard. They're in the gym, more than anyone. And when the others see that, they're like, okay, I better get in the gym as well. And so that's the most important thing when you're building a program, and you can have a great team, all right, but if that team is just in and out and they don't leave a lasting culture, you're going to start over every year. These young kids right now, they're learning, and they're going to do the same things. They're going to emulate the same things. They're going to say the same things that Liz, Georgia, and Kayla did, and that's how you build a program.
Mark the name.
Kenny, as far as the game, a couple questions on the last 12 seconds. Obviously, Walker got the ball with 12 seconds to go, and what made it so tough for you guys to? It took about 6 seconds for you guys to catch up to her to foul her, and obviously that would have given you more time for that last play.
Yeah.
What did you drop for that last 1.3 seconds there?
Well, at first we were out of timeouts, and it was 2 plays right in a row where she took a lot of time off the clock, and the reason she took a lot of time off the clock is because she's very elusive. And we were actually switching, and we actually got Olivia on her, so it took a little bit longer for us to come up with the foul. We tried to switch the matchup so that Olivia would not be the one who was chasing her, but it was so, ironically, it was so loud in there they couldn't hear me. And so she was able to take a lot of time off the clock. I think it took it to 5.9. And then on the inbounds play, we didn't have a timeout again. And it took a long time for them to look at it because at first when we drew up the play that we had 0.8 seconds left. The kids walked out, and I think they gave us 1.3. And I don't know if we tried to relay it that we had 1.3. The one thing I haven't seen yet, I didn't know if the ball got tipped when they inbounded the ball. All right, so that's why Georgia shot the ball the way she did, because I thought she had a little bit more time, but I couldn't tell if the ball was tipped or not. So, but I think we would have gotten a good look, but we just couldn't deliver. We couldn't execute the play because I think the inbounder was big on Carly. But I thought we had a good look. We were going for Tilly to shoot a 3. And we just didn't execute it.
Kenny, you mentioned Walker and her elusiveness there at the end, just throughout the entire second half.
Yeah.
It seems like she was a pretty big handful. How troubling was her quickness just overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think she averages 7.5 points a game, and she came down and she was big in the second half. You know, she hit a lot of those little mid-range, got to the basket, finished a couple of the layups. We probably let her get downhill a little bit too much. We were supposed to be going under the screen and make her shoot from deep, but we got clipped a couple times out front, and she got it going downhill against our bigs and created some problems. But she hit some big shots, those mid-range shots that I'm assuming this is one of her better games that she's played this year. But you know, she stepped up for them, and she was a big reason why they won the basketball game.
Kenny, you guys shot 32% from three-point range tonight. I know Baylor's a great defensive team on the perimeter. How much was it their defense, and how much was it just shots that might normally fall, just not falling tonight?
You know, I mean, if you ask Nikki, she'll say it's their defense. If you ask me, I'll say we missed shots. I just think, I mean, especially not seeing, not watching film yet, but I thought we got some good looks. We just didn't knock some of them down. But that's this time of the year, you have to make shots. I thought we got some of the looks. And they contested some of the ones we took. They actually even blocked a couple of them. But I thought we got some good looks, and we just didn't connect on them.
David Cunningham, Tech Sideline. Kenny, you said this was has been the most amazing stretch of your career. When, you know, I know you have a lake house that you go to every summer. When you have a chance to go there and reflect on this, how do you think you'll remember this season?
Well, I probably won't. I'll probably be 75 before I can sit back and reflect on it, because of the nature of college basketball now is, you know, tonight I'll be recruiting, you know, in the portal, you know, and you got to try to make sure that, you know, you're managing your roster, you know, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but that's a little bit of a stretch. But I will remember this this group. They're like my daughters, and like Georgia said, you know, we're connected for life, just because of the things that we went through. Because, you know, when I got here, I think we were picked 14th in the ACC my first year, 13th or 14th, and to get this program to where it is, and you know, that building is loud. You know, it wasn't just because it was, you know, an NCAA game. It was people there, you know, trying to make a good team great. And, you know, a lot of that has to do with, you know, the kids that we talked about earlier and what they've done and how they've represented. And, you know, this is a passionate fan base, and they will support you. And, you know, all that combined, you know, I still walk by. I have basketballs in my house that say Final Four, and I mean, I still have to pinch myself like that was us. You know, we were there, and we belong there. And, you know, and if it weren't, you know, I know injuries are part of it, you know, but I promise you, if it weren't for Liz going down, I thought we were poised to make another run. You know, we were on a stretch, man. We won 10 straight ACC games, and we had a bad game at Notre Dame, but we were ACC regular season champions with a chance to regroup and go into the tournament. And then Liz's unfortunate situation just kind of derailed, you know, us a little bit, and we had to try to reinvent ourselves. But it's a part of it, but, you know, these kids are special, and I'll always remember what the ride that they took us all on.
Coach Brooks, thank you for your time. Congratulations on a great season. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you
guys.
back in the dance. Just a reminder, the Virginia Tech locker room will be open for another 10 minutes. 10 more minutes on the Virginia Tech locker room. Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Good night from Blacksburg.